Recently, one of my beginner music production students requested my feedback on one of his songs, and this is what he sent me. Nice. Alright, so we got a little stutter house. He said, here's my masterpiece. Would love to see how you'd bring more life into this. Feel free to use it on your channel. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video because I think this song is awesome. It's just missing those little details that would really make it shine. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I would approach fixing this song up piece by piece so it can be that dance floor banger that it deserves to be. Alright, let's get into it. This song has two key parts to it. The first is the drop, which is an awesome drop. It just needs a bit more energy, so we're gonna have to fix that up. And it has the verse. Go ahead and start on the drop. First issue I hear is that the main melody, which is this, it just doesn't have enough energy. It doesn't have that drop energy that we want. As they stand, they're actually very mellow and would work best with just chords under them. But he used them in the drop, so we have to make his vision come to life. So I'm thinking we make them pump with the kick. So I'm going to go ahead and add Kickstart 2. It's a $15 side chaining plugin, or just an LFO style plugin that adds a lot of movement to anything you put it on. So here it is. And here it is without it. It's still nice, but it doesn't have that energy. So let's go ahead and add this. So now our sound bumps with the kick. Now we can capitalize on this by going into the kick and making it a little bit bigger. I think this kick is just a little bit small. We want a kick that really drives energy. This one. Here's my new kick. And then here's his kick. If we listen to his versus mine, mine just has a little bit more punch and it'll add all the difference. Let's jump up to the chords. So I'm going to take these, actually pull them down an octave because I think they're screaming a little too much. Now these fill up a little bit more. I'm also going to cut them off because I don't want them to take away from our lead. So we can still hear them, but they're not crashing into our lead melody anymore. The other issue is the side chaining is a little different. Here's the side chaining curve on our chords. And here is the side chaining curve on our melody. Sometimes if you make the shape of your side chaining throughout all of your instruments match each other, you get a really cool effect. Isn't that awesome? Let's go to the other chords that he had muted. Why did he mute these? Let's see how these sound with our lead melody. I feel like they fit so well together. Check this out. Remember on the last chords, we couldn't open the filter on them because they would compete with the lead melody. You have so many more options with them because you have such a wide range of expression. You can use that over the course of the arrangement. So out of the two sets of chords, I'm going to go with the muted chords. I just think they're better for the song. That already sounds awesome. We don't even have a bass yet. So let's go ahead and make a bass. I'm going to go to the chords and grab the root note of the chords. Whenever you make bass, you're usually going to make it one of two ways. The first way is a melodic bass, which would follow the root notes of the chords, which I'm going to do in this case. The other way you make bass is a bass note that just keeps hitting the tonic of the key signature that you're in. Of course, there's other ways to do it, but that's a good place to start. So I'm going to make a new instrument and just put these bass notes on it. I'm going to use X for Serum 2 to build my bass sound. If you're on another synth and you would like to follow along, don't worry. All the sounds I make are very, very simple and they're easy to build in other synths. Alright, so the bass sound that I have in mind is a sawtooth-based sound. That's just the initialized preset, but you can turn any waveform into a bass just by running it through a low-pass filter. I like to use tighter low-pass filters and just kind of focus its frequencies toward the sub-bass region. If we look at an EQ, which is exactly where you want your bass to sit. I'm going to add a little bit of character to this bass by turning on a second oscillator, and for this one we're going to add a little bit of unison, and I'm going to turn down this level knob and work it in. Whoops, we got to filter it. I'm trying to make the same bass style that John Summit used in Where You Are. Obviously his is a little bit more trancey than what I'm going for, but I like the fuzziness of the high unison layer. Let's try that for now. But here's the other thing. Right now I have this bass sidechaining as hard as the melody and the chords. But I feel like I want this bass to be a little bit more foundational and not pump as much. So we would turn the sidechaining down a little bit so it serves as a bit more of a foundational element. Now I'm going to go back to the drums, and if we look at them, they're a little bit underdeveloped. There's only 3 drums here. However, when I play them, I think for just 3 drums, they sound pretty strong, but I'm going to try to squeeze a drum in there anyway. One of my favorite types of drums to add to my house beats lately is like a low frequency tom like that, and you put them in between the kicks, and it adds like a heartbeat to the kick. Okay, while we're here, I'm going to add one more instrument to these drums, and that is a closed hi-hat. Try this one. I love that. It fills out the drum so much. That sounds good, but the thing about these vocals is that they are from a website called splice.com, and they're royalty-free vocals, which means anybody can download and use these vocals. Now that's perfectly fine. If you can make great songs with royalty-free vocals like that, do it. But sometimes it's fun to take a vocal like this and edit it so that it sounds a little bit more unique and not just something that anybody can go online and download. So this is optional. I'm going to keep what he has, but I'm going to duplicate them and see if I can come up with anything a little bit more unique, and we'll just keep them both in there. So I duplicated the vocals, and now here's what we have, the original vocal, but I'm going to double time it. That's so cool. It sounds very, very housey. And look, there's no rules. We can chop out what we don't like. I don't like this phrase. It says moving like water. Just get rid of that one. We'll use this one. I like this one as a resolution note. Don't laugh at the stars. Like, don't laugh at the stars tonight. I don't. The melody's good at least. So we could put that over there. And I'm just going to kind of swap these. So we get something like this. It sounds so housey. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I like to add a little bit of rhythm for reference. Very housey. This one kind of sounds a little bit repetitive, so we can get a little surgical here. Dancing. What if it like went down like that? So I'm gonna take this note. That one sounds good. What about this one? I think I like that. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's better than the original. But it's another option, and it's a little bit more unique, and now 5 million other musicians don't have access to what we just did because we played around with it. Now this section transitions into this section. I think we go into a breakdown where this drop melody isn't pumping. And just let it play out for a second. Then he has this drum roll here. I don't think we need a 8-bar long festival build-up here. We could just take half of it and have more music without drums banging everywhere. We'll keep the chords in. Nice intro melody and then build up. I like that flow. It sounds very natural. So what I'm going to do is just cut out this entire section here. I'm going to bump this over. So real quick, let's listen to how the song starts. I feel like going directly into a hook is a little bit much. Technically, you could do it, but I feel like we could get a really cool result if we add a little intro. I have this really cool idea for how I would do that. So let's take our drums and put them over here in the intro. I'll get rid of the extra stuff. But I had this idea. Instead of the drop melody coming in for the first time in the build-up at bar 17, we can actually take it and just kind of introduce and tease it. So we'll take like the first part of it and just kind of run it like this. Add a little bit of filtering, just for a little bit of a, the song is only starting energy instead of just going right into a hook. Add a little bit of echo, just so it seamlessly blends into the next section. We'll add a lot of feedback here, so it rides for a little. And then we'll increase the automation of the wet knob. This transition is critical. It sounds like Avicii levels. I'm going to take this effect that he had on his drop. That was beautiful. Now here's the other important transition. This is it. And then we go into the drop. track is beautiful. Well, that's a video for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like me to coach you one-on-one, check out the link at the top of my description. The links to my courses and community are below as well. And stay tuned for the next video lesson.